my fellow scientists. Hi, it is I, Scientist Dragon, coming live to you from Dragon Laboratories. Today, you see, we are going to be studying the integumentary system, which is the skin, and as well as the skeletal system. And over here is my assistant, Mr. Bones. Hello. All right, so we will be talking about the integumentary system. You may say, Scientist Dragon, whatever are you talking about? What is this integumentary system you are saying? Well, that means it is the skin that goes from the head all the way down to the feet. It is our largest organ, and it might surprise you, as it did me when I was first learning about it, that our skin weighs almost as much as 7 to 8 pounds. Isn't that fascinating? I thought so too. Okay, so the integumentary system includes our fingernails and our toenails, as well as our hair. Let's focus on our largest organ and start with the 3 layers of the skin. We have the epidermis. This is the outside layers, this layers that everybody can see with their eyeballs. It has hair. You may see the freckles on it, and as people get older, you would also notice the wrinkles. This is not a time to zoom in on my face. Thank you. All right, so in some places, your epidermis is very thin, like your eyelids, your forehead, and in other areas like your feet, the bottom of your feet, it is very thick. I'm sorry, not thick, but thick. Okay. So come back up here. The second layer is the dermis. This is the inner layer of our skin right here. Okay, so this contains our hair follicles. So the hair goes from the outside layer to the inside layer right here to the dermis. It has the sweat glands. Those are those little spaghetti noodle looking things in our diagram. The blood vessels right up here, as well as the nerve endings, which is right here and right here. All right, the lowest level of our skin is the hypodermis. We have the nerve endings, so that's what helps us sense the heat, the cold, the pain, the pressure, the vibration, okay? So now let us go to the jobs. Oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. Bones, your hand. Okay, so we will first talk about how the skin is a layer of protection. It protects our bodies from the germs that are out in the air. Okay, without our skin here, we would be able to have germs coming into our body, bacteria, viruses. It would be very, very bad. So like things that help us take care of our skin, we have to wash our hands, we have to wash ourselves. But even if we fall down and get a boo-boo, it is very important to keep that area clean and then cover it up with a bandage or a band-aid so that we do not get infection in our skin. The second thing is that it's waterproof, okay? So we do not get dehydrated. If we do need to regulate our temperature, which is number 3 up there, we will sweat. That's why there are those sweat glands in the dermis, because if we get hot, then we sweat to help our bodies cool off. Another way it might regulate our temperature, we have our hair on our head. So if we are out in the cold, the hair helps keep the body heat inside. But if we go outside and it is hot, our hair is also acting as a way of protecting our scalp from those dangerous UV rays from the sun. It's very bad. Don't forget your sunscreen either. Okay, the skin also protects our organs too. Without the skin, we would have no way of holding all of our organs inside us. They would just go bloop all over the ground. There goes our heart, or there goes my lungs, or there goes my liver, or there goes my intestines. It would be very, very sloppy. The last thing again is the nerves. So the skin is part of the nervous system and helps us detect all of these things. That's why we have so many nerve endings, billions and billions going all through our body. Okay. Let's go to the skeletal system. What makes the skeletal system, Scientist Dragon? I am so glad you asked. Let's look right here. We've got the bones. We've got the ligaments. The ligaments help create these joints. Okay, they are very tough tissue. And then the cartilage, it cushions around the ends of the bones so they're not rubbing up against each other. If they rubbed up against each other, it would be very painful. All right, what are the jobs of the bones? I'm so glad you asked. They support our body. If we were just skin and organs, we would be like a blobfish on the ground. It would be very, very gross looking. So they support our bodies. They help anchor our muscles so that we are able to move. They protect our inner organs. So two of the most important bones, come over here to Mr. Bones. We have the skull up here on the top. Is this big bone right here? This helps protect our brain, which we learned last week is very fragile and squishy. So the skull is a bone that protects that brain. The other major bones that does a lot of protecting is this rib cage right here. The rib cage protects what our lungs would be, as well as our hearts would be up here, pumping our blood through the body. So the rib cage and the skull have two very important jobs. Okay. Coming back up here, our bones also make the blood cells. If we zoom in over here, the outside of our bone is very strong. It's made of calcium. The inside of our bone has something that is called bone marrow. And that bone marrow makes these stem cells. And from these stem cells comes the red blood cells that goes through our body. They have the white blood cells. Those are what fight against germs and bacteria and things like that and come into our bodies. That is our first line of defense. Then we have something that is called platelets. And those platelets help our blood clot if we fall down, get a scrape, get a cut, anything like that. The platelets help our blood to clot and form those scabs so we are not oozing blood all over the place, because that would be very, very gross. And then, of course, our bones help store minerals like calcium. Speaking of calcium, it is very important that we include calcium in our daily diet, because one of the things that happens as we get older is that if we don't have enough calcium in our diets, we might be like some of these older people that they get osteoporosis and they are hunched over because the bones are not supporting the weight. All right, come over here to Mr. Bones, my lovely assistant. Hello. All right, you'll notice that I have labeled some of the bones in the skeleton. Of course, we have the skull. We have something called the clavicle. The clavicle is also known as the collarbone. It's this bone and this bone. We have the rib cage. The upper bone in the arm is called the humerus. Down below, we have the two bones in the lower arm, which is the radius and ulna. We have the phalanges, which is the fingers and the toes. The strongest bone is the bones that goes from our hip down to our knee, which is called the femur. And then the two bottom bones beneath our knee, which the little bones that is right here that is missing is called the patella. These two lower bones beneath our knee is called the fibula and the tibia. So today, my little scientists, I hope you have enjoyed learning another part of the human body with the integumentary system, the skin, as well as the skeletal system. All right, I'll see you later. Ta-ta for now.